I got to know him pretty well. On The Apprentice, I was in his company for about 100 hours. I worked out over the entire 6 weeks, and I ended up winning it. Now, because I won it, every year after that, he would invite me back in for at least one or two of the challenges to be his eyes and ears and be on the boardroom, a kind of Nick Hewer figure, if you like, on a couple of the challenges. But then I joined CNN, and I interviewed him maybe 30 times at CNN.
Wow.
And he started ringing me probably every 3-4 weeks in that period for a chat about life and the universe. And I got to know Trump very, very well. He turned up at my book launch. He invited me to other events. We became, I would say, reasonably good friends. Now, that gave me an insight into all facets of his character, good, bad, and ugly. You see much of the ugly in his campaigning style. I saw a lot of good. I think he's a very loyal guy. He's a big family guy. His family all adore him, his kids in particular. I think he's somebody who is a kind of throwback to the old chest-beating era of America being the number one superpower with no real threat to that status. And he genuinely feels a sense that America's losing its place in the world, losing its power, and he wants to be the kind of billionaire Robin Hood figure who can get it back on track. And in many ways, he does have qualities which America may need right now in his sharp-edged business style to achieve that. And you just have to get past somehow, on the liberal side, the kind of rough and tumble tactics and the rhetoric which goes with it.
Now, I don't agree with all of that, and I don't want to get into a debate about the positions he's taken now. We can leave that to news programmes. But I want to get to understand him. Tell us something, as he's a friend of yours, you speak to him regularly. Tell us something about Donald Trump, just in person. Tell us something we don't know about him.
Well, I'll tell you, it's interesting, actually. I had breakfast this week with Corey Lewandowski, who was his campaign manager for a large part of the campaign. And he's a pretty rough and tumble New Jersey guy himself. And I said to him, how did Donald win this? I said, putting aside any political positions and the wall and everything else, how do you think he won this in terms of his personal qualities? He said, well, look, one, for a 70-year-old guy, he has unbelievable energy. He said in the last few weeks, Donald Trump was basically working 21 to 22 hours a day in the last few weeks of that campaign. He said, for a 70-year-old guy, he's unbelievable on energy. Second, he's incredibly competitive. And he said to Lewandowski, I will do whatever it takes to win. And I saw that side to him when he said to me once in an interview for GQ, and he said, the thing about talking the talk is you have to walk the walk. Like Muhammad Ali did, if you talk it and you win and you're a champion, that plays. If you talk the talk but you don't walk the walk and you lose, it doesn't play. He said, but as in golf, you only have to win by one shot or 1 point. Winning is what matters. And he didn't care what it took to get over that line, so long as he got over the line. So he's ruthlessly competitive in that sense. He also said that very, very loyal, incredibly loyal to people that are loyal to him. And I saw that quality with me when I was occasionally of no use to him whatsoever, but he would still call me for a chat and was always very supportive of everything I've ever done. He's somebody, I think, who... Well, let me tell you this startling fact about him. He's never had an alcoholic drink in his life.
It's amazing, I know that. Yeah.
He's never had a cigarette, never taken a legal drug. His only vice is women, as is now pretty well documented, better and worse. He's somebody whose brother, Fred, was 10 years older and died an alcoholic and a drug addict and made Donald promise, please do not go down my road. And he has a sort of pathological hatred of people getting drunk and behaving out of control. He doesn't even drink caffeine, Trump. So you'll never have a coffee with him.
That's a genuine insight. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that.